Brad, 3 weeks on Saturday, you get to fight for the title you've been wanting to fight for. Well, you've been preparing for this for at least a good 12 months, mate. Yeah,
definitely. I've had my eye on it for a while, haven't I? Well, since my debut, you know, it was always the plan. Me and Blaine had always said we wanted to go that domestic route. We didn't want to kind of, you know, start off with these international belts and fighting foreign opponents, unknowns. You know, we've always said that 50-50 domestic fights early on in my career will kind of leave me in good stead, you know, when they're getting these big fights down the line.
Yep.
And you know, I think we've done that. You know, and I think for me as well, it's what the fans want to see. You know what I mean? They don't want to see you fighting some. Although some of these foreign opponents are risky and they're good. Like no one knows who they are. No one's interested. You know,
there's no anticipation because they don't know what's coming.
Exactly.
So
when you've got
surprised, but
you've got two up and coming kind of domestic lads who, you know, good record, and you've watched on other shows, you've seen them in action. You know what I mean?
Mentally, you can build it up, can't
you? Exactly.
As a fan.
And you know, I'm a professional boxer. I'm very lucky, but I'm a boxing fan. You know what I mean? And that's what I like watching at home, them type of fights. And I think the promoters are getting onto it now.
Yeah.
You know, like Boxer and Sky have been throwing. You know, they'll get one undefeated small-law lad, another undefeated small-law boxer from a different promotion from the other side of the country, and they'll just bang them in for on the undercard. And you know, it makes great fights. You know, look at Conor and Antwi.
Yep.
You know, great fight. Me and Jez Smith. You know, or me and Cutler. You know what I mean? The lads from the kind of the small-law circuit, like where I've come from, they see it as like, this is my big chance now.
So that they want to make that big impression.
Exactly, they want to make an impression, and they put it on the line, and it produces great fights. And for me, I think it's what the fans want to see.
Well, the reason why I was saying you've been preparing this for a long time is because I was surprised when I spoke to you. I think this fight was spoke about probably like 8-9 months ago. I mean, you even took on Craig McCarthy because he was a southpaw, and you thought Tyler Denny was going to win this fight.
Yeah.
Now, I thought that was rather brave because on record, you would have thought the other kid would have been the favourite.
Yeah.
But you were quite certain that he was going to win and he was going to be your future opponent, and it turned out that way,
I know
mate.
boxing don't, mate, you know what I mean? I'm not daft. Might look daft, mate, but I'm not daft when it comes to boxing. But yeah, you know, it's a fight that I've had my eye on for a while, and you know, I said earlier this week that it's nothing personal, you know what I mean? I've not been calling Tyler out. I don't want to fight Tyler. I just want what he's got. You know what I mean?
Well, it's been confirmed now because we weren't sure because he had a mandatory, which was Brad Paul's.
When you're putting this out tomorrow?
Today? Oh well,
I think it's getting announced.
It's been announced in the next day or two. If not, we might be breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
But it is going to happen. You are going to fight for the English title, and the winner of that fight will then fight Brad Paul's. So,
yeah. So me and Denny have both agreed whoever wins this fight, first defence will be Brad Paul's, which is another great domestic fight. You know, a tasty one for either of us. Obviously, I plan on it being me. But again, you know what I mean? It's great to be involved in a division, such a stacked division with so many good lads, and by the looks of it, we're all willing to fight each other. You know what I mean? I think it's been the problem with boxing for so long. You know, people worried about crossing over promoters and, you know, broadcasting stations and stuff, and although it's not at the top level, you know what I mean, it's you've shown that.
Yeah, but these are the stages that get you to the top level.
Exactly. But Boxer have shown they're happy to do it with Parker. You know what I mean? They've done it with Wasserman before. I think you've seen Matchroom and Wasserman were happy to work with each other for the Ben Eubank. You know what I mean?
It's good for boxing.
Exactly. It's good for boxing. It's good for boxing, and you know, if I do beat Tyler Denny and I am champion, or do defend against Brad Pauls, and you know, I'm not sure how it works, goes to purse bids or whatever, but if I've got to go and fight on a Wasserman show on Channel 5, and fuck it, so be it, you know what I mean? I'm prepared to do that, and I think the other kids in the division are as well, which is why, you know, we've got a tasty couple of years coming up.
You still just 24?
34, yeah.
It's exciting for you, isn't it?
Yeah, exciting times, mate.
Because you're probably one of the youngest in the bunch. and this hopefully will cement you. Because I was just looking at box rec, and you've just fell out there because I think you were number 10. Now you dropped down to I think 13 or something like that. You're in between Tyler Denny and someone else.
You know what though?
No, I know.
It's great to be ranked, mate. It's great to be thought of highly, but you know, you're looking box rec and I might have been in the top 10. You're looking at boxing news and 20 or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's then the results that matter, and winning fights and winning titles. This
result will cement you in that top 10.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's important. You get in that top 10 and those bigger fights, and hopefully, you know, if everything goes well, fingers crossed. I know we can't overlook anyone, but if we do overlook them, and so like the middle to the end of next year, it could be a British title inside for you.
Yeah, baby steps, mate. Baby steps. Everyone knows the British titles. You know, a dream of mine. It's been my goal since I turned pro. My number one target, you know, was to win the British title. But I'm tunnel vision at the moment, mate. I've got Tyler Denny November 12th, and you know, if we come through that, we'll look at what the next step is.
And on the same night, I believe, I'm going to have a word with Ricky later on. He's fighting because it was postponed. He was having a charity fight with Pereiro,
yeah.
And it's
Pereiro.
Like Pereiro.
Sounds like a chocolate bar.
Very nice
chocolate on my mind, mate. You know what I mean?
Look, well, he's looking good, mate. Though that doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue because for a man, I forget how big you are until I see you stood next to a lot of the VIP fighters who've been moving around with, and you're bloody huge, mate.
Yeah, look, mate. Everyone knows it's no secret. Look at me, I'm big at the weight. But you know, I've got a great team around me. You know, I've got Pete Bell on my nutrition. Who
has that helped you? That he's only been working for the last 18 months, is it?
Since the Cutler fight.
Right, so about 18 months, 2 years maximum.
Yeah. And oh mate, best decision I made. Yeah, I think it's enhanced me training, my performance in the gym, and my performances on fight night. And you know, don't get me wrong, I'm like you said, 24. I'm growing. I'm a young lad, and I'm only going to get bigger. One day, probably will be a super middleweight. But for now, we're confident doing the weight safely, comfortably, and being able to perform at the weight. And I've got titles in me at middleweight. I know I have.
So the ideal scenario for you would be, you know, like you say, to win. Obviously, 3 weeks on Saturday. Some point in 2023, try and get a crack at the British title, and then you might look at. By that time you're going to be 25 and a half, you're going to be looking at maybe moving up to super middleweight.
Essentially, yeah, mate, we've just got to see how things go, you know what I mean? If it ever comes to a point where I don't feel right, I don't think I can do it anymore, I will move up, but for now, mate, you've seen me today, feeling good, feeling fit, feeling strong, and I know it's easier said than done in the gym and on fight night, you know, when you take a little bit more off, you know. I think a lot of fighters, you've seen it like recently, Shakur Stevenson and Haney didn't look good on the scales, but you don't know you've pushed it that step too far until it's too late, until it's fight week. And you know, like Stevenson said, you know, I've been a professional my whole career, I've never missed weight, but it was just a step too far, and you don't know that. But you know, I'm comfortable.
It's not on the horizon for you yet.
I'm happy that, you know, I've got a few fights in me at middleweight, and like I said, I've got titles in me at middleweight.
Well, listen, good luck for we won't be there, we've got a show on the same night, mate.
I know, mate, you've got a bit of a tasty one, haven't you?
Yeah, we have actually, we've got the little prize fighter thing with Prospect v Prospect.
That's good, that, mate, fair play. All the lads are kind of willing to put it on the line. I wish when I was at that stage, you know, there was something like that I could have gone in, and I'm looking forward to it, mate. Good lads. I'll be tuning in probably with a load of chocolate the next night, catching up on VIP. But yeah, I know I vaguely know all the lads in it, but backing me by Casey, aren't I? We go way back, Casey, but no, it should be a fun one now.
You know Casey well from the amateur days, don't you?
Yeah. Me and Casey, I've known Casey since he was a 11, 12-year-old kid. So yeah, backing Casey for the win, but it should be tasty, mate. It should be exciting.
It will be, and I think it's going to be 2 semi-finals on the night you fight. We've got Joe Howarth on that show, who's making a little bit of noise at lightweight, isn't he? He's knocking people out for fun.
Yeah, he's stopping people that don't get stopped as well.
I know,
Yeah. Well, it's good, mate. VIP. It's good to see the VIP lads. You've got a good
When I
talent
next see
pool
you,
coming through.
When I next see you, you have that belt around your waist, mate.
Yeah, mate, I'll have a belt around my waist. I'll have a big fat head, I'll have a pint and a bar of chocolate.
Well, like you say, your celebration, you're going over watching Brent. He fights the week after you, and
going to support Brett, mate. Going to support Brett in Dublin the week after. Yeah, mate, the gym's bouncing at the moment, mate. Everyone's busy.
Mate, it's hammered, isn't it?
Everyone's got something coming up, you know. Chloe's not in this week, unfortunately. She was supposed to be on the Ben Eubank card, got pulled. Brett's the weekend after me. You've got Bayern and Jack debut coming up. You've got Ricky the same night as me. You know, I think Ibby's got a date boxed off, announced in the next couple of days. So the gym's bouncing, mate.
He's hoping to fight for the central area soon, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. You know, he's ready now. He's ready, mate. He's ready. And good environment, mate. Pushes you on, and I'm enjoying being in the gym at the moment. Really enjoying my training.
Today, mate.
Yeah.
Your little blade.
Good 12 rounds.
When he has to do the pad for you, mate.
I know his shoulders must be forward.
Absolutely. Try enough to do pads when you're holding at normal height, but he's normal. He should wear platforms, shouldn't he?
He should, mate, like Salas.
Listen, you take care. Hopefully, like I say, when I see you next, you'll have that English title around your waist, mate.
Nice one, Lee. Cheers, mate.
See you later, Brad. Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.